Hello and welcome back, Transformer TCG fans. Okay, now we're going to have a talk about this thing, this not Rippersnapper, but not right now, not today. We're actually getting into the the ranking cards. We're going to look at the ground force. Now, as far as nomenclature is concerned, nomenclature is for the birds. That was I coined that little quote back in high school. I have bad memory when it comes to terms anyway, but okay, is that the forces first, followed by the unit, and then the ranking. So I was able to be able to get the word force with Air Force, because the word air is so short, so that looks right, and we're used to hearing Air Force together, not, ground force, marine force, space force. Now I might have space force. I might have the word force with the space cards. I can't remember, but these are the same insignias that you do see in Earth Wars. Unfortunately, unlike Earth Wars, these are not quite the same ranks, I've noticed, as these. But I'm getting a lot of these, and this information came from the Cybertronian military insignia / gallery off of the Transformers wiki page, and maybe one other website also. But so there's that, and that took forever to pull up. So let's get out of that. We're going to see if I can go through as quick as I can with the ground force cards. Now, only the Autobots have the specialist trait, and I did something. We've gone over this before multiple times. I apologize. I'm beginning to sound like a parrot. I know. Where you can either go from private, sergeant, specialist, and stop in stack 3, or in the specialist cards. When you max out to a specialist with Autobots, it's not that strong, but you at least get one across the board: 1 attack, 1 health, 1 defense. Once you're able to do that, there might be, I'm trying to clear up a lot of details to where it shows all the private cards just simply tell you who can it be equipped on. Okay, and if you have, oddly enough, according to WASI rules, if I remember correctly, thank you, Brit guy, that if it's introduced into the game, that's the specific where it can go on. But if you end up having a card, I know swap parts is banned probably across the fruited plain, but if you have something similar that you at least can only move like one upgrade from one character to another, then you might be able to move these over. They all do go into one utility slot, thus the word stack. So what I was getting to is some of this may say this stacks on, and I'm trying to get rid of that and just say stack on Decepticon Air Force private only, Air Force captain only, ground intel sergeant only, etc. So instead of this stacks on, it's stack. Okay, using the verb it is, and it's stronger that way. It takes up less space, and it just seems to make sense. So whether these are too strong, or would you be like, I'm only one in 40 card deck, this is just taking too much room, I don't want to use these. Fine, I don't care. I'm just making these for the fun and trying to introduce these into the game in a way that seems to try to make sense. And I'm trying to incorporate a whole lot of different abilities and things in here, and trying to keep it simple. So let's start at the top. We're in ground, and it's a magic set editor. I have it to where it's all alphabetical order. So ground, artillery, private. Let's go through this as quick as I can. Now, pit colors. Now. Okay, and I've mentioned this before. I sound like a parrot again. Private is common. Sergeants are common. captains are uncommon, majors are uncommon, generals are rare. Okay, none of these have stars, though I'm sure I'm going to get slapped on the hand. The general card should have a star. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think, trying to get these stacked on top of one another on one character during the course of a game. And trying to, one, get them into your hand, and two, get them in play. They may not be completely feasible, but that's sort of, even if you're trying to go with a somewhat constructed deck, even in casual play, and only having a maximum number or maximum number of rare cards in a player's deck, you and your opponent, then you might go, you can have only a max of 3 rare cards. Well, then boom, you might want them all be the general, or you might want to have maybe a set of these and maybe something else or whatever. So there's that. Now, ground, put on an Autobot, car, motorcycle, tank, or truck only. I'm only going to say this one time, hopefully. Okay, so they're all utilities. They're going to stack on top of each other to where you can get 3 or all 5 in one utility slot. And if you try to get, I guess you could, it would probably be your whole deck if you wanted to try to fill up the 3 utility slots on General Optimus Prime. But then that would be too many cards, and you'd be like the king on the Amadeus, maybe too many notes, too many cards. It wouldn't, I don't think it would be very feasible. It might be fun, it might be a challenge, but you could still have a matrix on him, whatever, but maybe you're banning that card too. I don't know. Ground artillery private, blue and green, +1 to attack. Pierce 1. Sergeant, hybrid black blue with the car trait, +1 to defense. Pierce 1. Artillery captain, ground artillery captain, black blue hybrid with the truck, +1 to attack. The equipped character has the leader trait. Major, ground artillery major, black blue hybrid, tank, +1 health, stacks on captain only, Pierce 1. So before we get to general, what have you noticed? If you can get even just simply up to the major card, and that's 4, you will have an attack of 2, defensive +1, and health of +1, and Pierce 3. With just those 4 cards stacked in one utility slot on top of each other, all 3 upgrades. The general, and for the most part, this is the pattern of the attack, defense, and health on the bottom. Okay, the general has the most, with +1 health, +1 defense. Stack on top of ground artillery major only. It is a black solid pip, green pip, leader traded, a green pip. When a character you control attacks, equipped with a weapon, roll 1 to 6. I originally had roll a 6-sided die. That took up a lot of space. So I just roll 1 to 6. So you have that kind of probability factor of one of these 2 things, or maybe 3 things, to happen on a card for a character you control. If you're able to get all these cards and get one character of that's either, for at least for the ground force, car, motorcycle, truck, or tank, and you're able to get them up to a general, and this is going to be across the board for all of these things. Yeah, it's not just going to affect the equipped character. You are going to help give perks to your other characters if they aren't already KO'd. Okay? So, but whoever has these equipped, it will affect them also. Character you control attacks. Roll 1 to 3. Add +1 to the chosen character. +1 to attack, 4 to 6. If you roll a 4 to 6, +2 to attack to the chosen character. It's not much. It's not much. It is a chance, and some of these chances are going to be different and be different attributes to your entire team. For whoever is attacking or battling or defending, let's keep going. Ground artillery specialist. The specialist is blue and green. Stacks on top of the ground artillery, sergeant only. Remember what I said, private sergeant specialist or private sergeant captain major general. Anyway, so if you don't want to go try to stack all 5 cards, you can at least go to the specialist card and get 3, and again give you 1 across the board, +1 to attack, +1 health, +1 defense. When you put this on a specialist, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a weapon, you may play it. It also has Pierce 1. A ranking card cannot be stacked on this. Boom, you can't stack anymore. If you go to specialist, that's it. It's right out. Okay, so it'll give you 1 across the board and Pierce 3 for the equipped character with all these upgrades stacked on them. Okay, let's keep going. I'm slowing down. Ground engineer private Autobot blue green, utility +1 to attack. While this is equipped on a motorcycle, it gets tough 1 for battle. It can go on the other traded characters. Again, you're probably going to want to put this on a character before you flip it for turn. Go back to general rules. The general rules of the game. You can do these things in any order. Play an action, play an upgrade, flip character. If you're not flipping your characters, you're not playing Transformers, in my mind. In the original instructions said. Anyway, I forgot. But let's keep going. That's the private. The sergeant is focus 1. Put on ground engineer private only. A hybrid blue green with the car, +1 defense. Captain blue green truck. You see in a pattern here, +1 to attack. The equipped character has the specialist trait. This is a little different than a lot of the rest. There's going to be, most of the captain cards are normally going to add the leader trait to a character. If it already has a leader, it doesn't do anything. And it's going to give the equipped character bandit. Blue pip battle icons flipped by a defending character, not the equipped character, with bandit have no effect. I wrote that verbatim from one of their characters because I was basing it on that reads funny. Bandit, blue battle icons flipped by a defending character with bandit have no effect. I was thinking that if you were attacking and they're defending and you have bandit, then their flip blue doesn't work. That's what it sounds like. But the way this reads, and I took this verbatim. Blue pip battle icons flipped by a defending character with bandit. So it sounds like the defending character with bandit. The blue pips don't have any effect. Let me know. But I wrote that verbatim. I was at Transformers.cards. I wrote it verbatim. +1 to attack. Engineer major. Blue-green tank. Oppress 1 while the equipped character is battling. Reduce all characters' bold and tough totals by 1 this battle. +1 health. So yes, if you're stacking these on top of, I don't know, Flame War, she's a motorcycle. If she is in her alt mode, and you say you flipped her to her alt mode to give your other characters, what is it, bold 1, and she's the one attacking or whatever, she's now going to have tough 1 on the back side. But if you can get up to the major card, then that oppress 1 is kind of going to cancel that out. That tough, at least, anyway. So you're still going to be able to, you can get tough by other ways with secret actions and armors and etc. So it's only just oppress 1, okay? Major General, come on, is green only with the specialist trait. So specialists can get this on the flip, which sort of, go back to the captain card. You get up to the captain, they have the specialist trait. Now that gives you a higher probability of being able to get the general card on the flip, okay? When a character you control, if you have other characters available, roll again. 1 to 6, 1 to 3 is rolled, and you have a car on the battlefield. Draw a card. 4 to 6 is rolled, and a truck was on your starting team. So the car can't be KO'd. They have to be in that mode with that active trait. But if your truck is KO'd, you're not going to be able to do 1 damage to an enemy. So there's that. Things to think about. It's not much. It's a little draw power to be able to. And remember, when do you roll? When a character you control attacks. So you tapped for attack. You have boom. Say you happen to have all 5, and you got the general. Roll the dice first before y'all flip for battle. Okay, that's the key here. Roll before you flip, and boom. Then you can draw a card. You can't play it because you already passed that phase of your turn. So there's that. Or do 1 damage to an enemy if you started with a truck on your starting team. If you only want to go to the specialist trait, specialist card, it's blue and green. Specialist green. Stack on top of ground engineer sergeant only. I think you're getting the gist of this. When a character you control battles, roll 1 to 6. If 1 to 3 is rolled, you may flip a car you control to bot mode. If 4 to 6 is rolled, each tank you control gets focus 1. Actually, I need to have that a half for battle. And then ranking cards, a ranking upgrade cannot be stacked on this. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So if, wow, that makes the car flip chance, 50% chance of rolling and you're battling. So if you're defending and you're able to get a 1 to 3 with ground engineer specialist, flip one of your car traded characters to bot mode. When it's your turn, boom, flip them to alt mode. Nice perk, okay? Nice setup there, but you're going to be reliant on the dice. Same with the tank. If they're attacking your tank, one of your tank characters is tapped. The character with up to the specialist upgrade isn't. They're forced to go into them. They're battling before they flip for turn. Roll to get focus. You might be able to get focus 1 on your tanks. Just saying. Let's keep going. Infantry private. Blue green. Bold 1. +1 to attack. Sergeant. Bold 1. +1 to defense. When you put this on a character, you may play another upgrade. Okay. And the infantry, ground infantry sergeant is orange blue with only your motorcycles are going to be able to call that orange or blue. No one else. Okay. Captain, infantry captain, orange blue car, +1 to attack. The equipped character has the melee trait. Not the captain trait, not the leader trait, but the melee trait. So if you're using a certain type of setup for your starting characters and you have a weapon that can only go on a melee trait character, this might help you out if you want to do that. It might open some doors, maybe not. Major, ground infantry major, orange blue truck, bold 1, +1 health. So if you're able to go from private, sergeant, captain, to major, you're going to have a total of bold 3, +1 to attack, +2 to attack, +1 health, +1 defense. And then when you put the sergeant, that's a one-time thing. You know, when you put this on somebody, you can play another upgrade. So that's a one-time thing. And then we go to general. Go stack on ground infantry major only, orange and green with the green trait, with the leader trait. I almost made that melee, and I'm like, no, let's, yeah, that makes more sense. I may have had that as melee. So anyway, when a tank you control attacks, roll a 1 to 6. If 1 to 3 is rolled, the chosen character gets bold 1. And I just ran out of room. So is it for battle, or is it until end of turn? That's a good question. Probably just for battle. Which means I gotta email this again with the corrections on it. If 4 to 6 is rolled, the chosen character gets bold 2. And I'll put for battle. Oh golly, it's wrapping around. Oh crap! I got it squeezed in there because I know that's and again +1 health, +1 defense. Let's keep going. Intel ground, intel private, blue green, +1 to attack. While this is on a truck, it has stealth while untapped. So you might want to put this on a truck. You may not want to put this on the truck. Let's see what happens with the sergeant. Is black and blue hybrid for cars. Only the cars can call. That's attacking or defending, to be able to call this hybrid black or blue. Remember that when you stack this. Stack on ground intel private only. When you put this on a melee character, draw a card. +1 to defense. So again, another just one-time thing. And ground intel captain, put on the ground intel sergeant only. So you can't swap these up, and you can't go, ooh, I've got a private, I've got an engineer sergeant, and I'm going to put the infantry captain on top of that, and you can't do that. Okay, that's the point of this. It's the same force in the same unit, and you're upping their ranks. Okay, ground intel captain +1 to attack when the equipped character has the leader trait. The equipped character has the leader trait. Hybrid black and blue truck. You see a pattern here. When the equipped character battles, scrap a card from your opponent's hand. The equipped character has focus 1 for each different pip color on the card scrapped this way for battle. And that is misspelled. So that's captain. Yes, which means attacking or defending. Ground intel major, black blue tank. While this is on a ranged car character, and we don't have many, and it attacks, you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck before flipping for battle. I guess I could have just put plan 1, but I went back to wave 1 or 2 and typed it all out. +1 health. So that's ground intel major. Let's go to the general card. It's now an all black pip with a green with a specialist trait. Specialist? What's the captain do? Gives the leader trait. Yeah. I want the leader trait. So I don't know what happened there. Again, there's so many of these cards in the ground force alone. There's 42 in total in this group, guys. Oh gosh, I got it. So when a character you control attacks with the general +1 health, +1 defense, roll a 1 to 6, 1 to 3. Bold 2 for battle. 4 to 6. You may play an action from your hand. So you're already tapped. You're about to flip for battle. You can't play it. No, you can play it. I'm sorry, but you got to have it in your hand too. And it can be for any of your other characters that happen to be still on the table, whether the character that is wearing, that has the general all the way up to the general rank equipped, they don't have to be tapped. They don't have to be in play. They just have to be active and on the battlefield and stacked all the way up to the general rank, and it affects your entire team. Okay, that's the point. I don't know if I stressed that enough the first time. Let's look at. Oh gosh, I'm going long. And that was Intel. Now let me call it quits. That's what I did the first time I was trying to go through this. I don't want to go too long. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. So we'll have the medical and the spec ops and the ground force transport last for the next video for the Autobots. Again, this has been a huge undertaking. I'm still not really finished, but I wanted to at least release some of these and reveal them and say, hey, what do you think? Is this something you would want to do? That's why all the private cards, all the greens are just blank, so you can get the process started early. I got the general card with a green pip also, so you can try to get it on the swap, but they're just about all traded. Not all of them, but most of them. To where once you get up to a captain and you got that leader trait now on that character that may not already been a leader previously, you get a higher chance of getting that general card on the flip and go, aha, and be able to go from, Captain, Major, General. Don't sing it. And with that, we got to go over 24 cards. We got to go over 24 cards in about 27 minutes. That's a little over a minute a card. And I apologize for as long as this has been taking in every sense of the word. All right, so we got to go over ground force artillery, 5 rankings, the ground force engineer, ground force infantry, right? Because the artillery gives Pierce. You can get up to Pierce 3. Through infantry, you can get up to bold 3. The engineering is a little all over the place, but with a little tough on the backside for motorcycle defense. If I'm correct, no, I'm not correct. That's ground no. Where was that? It was just here. Okay, that's a private. Okay, that is the engineer. Okay, that's the private. And then focus 1 for the sergeant. Captain adds bandit. That major added oppress 1. So it's a lot to keep up with. And the ground engineer for for these ground type characters might be a bit much. I was trying to fill in some gaps, so to speak, while trying not to go too crazy with it. Let me know what you think. If you like this idea. Again, I've been working on this probably going on 2 years. Originally, it was metrics. This is where the metric cards came from. I didn't know what they were at the time until I went to that the Cybertron military symbol. There's like the Transformer wiki, and then there's another wiki that went over both of them. And again, Earth Wars does it differently. Earth Wars doesn't. You will see a lot of the same symbols in your Earth War game if you're still playing it. I still am. I probably should be playing it now to be helping my alliance with an alliance event this weekend. But anyway, we'll see you next time. Comments down below. Hit scraplets at the like button if you like this content and you're interested in this. I think this would be fun. I think it would be a challenge to itself. Again, it may not be feasible to try to get all 5 upgrades in one utility slot to get them all stacked on a character. And once you do, you may only be affecting that one character. or maybe the character, whoever you're trying to put them on, maybe gets KO'd. What happens to the upgrades? Scrap in your scrap, just like everything else. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and as always, Autobots, let's flip. Woo, I flirbed that. Autobots, let's flip out and let's roll for it. Sorry you had to see my ugly mug. I don't have the money to really print all this out, but you know, there's that. And changes have been made since I did that video.